You got to invest equally in all of those. You can't kind of invest in one. I mean, because the model won't work. You're going to lose something. Anything that you're not invested in or invested as much, you're losing something.
Hello and welcome to White Label Advice. My name is Brooke McNeely. I'm the VP of Marketing, and we are here today with our two amazing guests, our founder and CGO, Eric Howerton. Welcome.
Thank you.
And our VP of Product Strategy, Corey Hammond. Hello, thank you.
Hello, good to be here.
Corey. Hey, Corey.
Wow.
You're entertaining, Brooke.
I'm
This is
trying.
a pleasure being here today.
It is. Okay.
Got the whole setup today.
I do.
love it.
I wish I missed my mic close to the audio effects,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
Those were the days.
I'm getting the reach. It's like it's like a stretch workout.
The new mic will be in today.
Oh, that's exciting.
yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, great.
Noted. All right, but today, that's not what we're talking about.
No.
Today, we want to talk about product launch strategy. So launching products on Walmart.com, it's obviously a very common thing. So is there a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it, Corey?
Yeah, so it's not as binary as that. It really depends on the categories you're getting into on Walmart.com. But I really wanted to take this time to talk through the ways as merchandisers we would look at a category and identify opportunities to provide a product to the customer and launch that product properly. So I think this exercise is not just applicable to Walmart.com. I actually think it's applicable to any emerging marketplace. Amazon, I think, is a bit too saturated for it to be this simplified. So if you're thinking of emerging marketplaces, try to apply this workflow in your product launch strategy.
All right. Eric,
Perfect.
anything
For what?
for product launching? I mean, with all those products you've launched on Walmart.
Right.
Well,
No, I mean,
Eric, today's your lucky day because
I'm going to launch a product today.
we're gonna play the first episode of Product Launch with Eric and Corey
Perfect.
and Brooke.
Yes,
Great.
we will. First, we're going to talk about, so what are some things to consider?
Let Brooke control this puppy.
No, I'm like, that's great. We're going to get to that.
I thought we were gonna do intro music for the game and everything.
There will.
Okay.
Just hang tight, Corey. Okay, this is Brooke's show.
We got it.
This is the
It's
Brooke
cool.
show.
All right,
No, I've already
deal.
wanted to choose some just kind of questions to just kind of lead people into where we're going with this.
Sure.
So, what are some things to consider when you're about to launch a product?
So the assortment gaps in emerging marketplaces are very many, but the categories you go into, of course, are going to be influenced by your historical sales, the product lines you've already developed. So it's a matter of looking at these marketplaces, whether that's Walmart, Target, Kroger's, wherever you're trying to expand, and really just doing some simple searches. Of course, the search algo may not be as good as Amazon's or Walmart's, but the process of acting like a customer, searching for a product and seeing what the results show, that's a really great indicator as to whether there's demand for it and if there's a gap in the assortment on that marketplace.
So are you talking like as actually manufacturer? It's more R&D. You're like before
Yeah.
a product's even created right now.
Yeah. So if you have an existing product and, let's just say you're selling coffee mugs and you go onto an emerging marketplace and you already sell the coffee mugs on Amazon and the color, the style, the, key features with your coffee mug. If you just do a search on that emerging marketplace and if you see 50 pages of results showing coffee mugs in varying size, varying price, really everything is already taken care of, probably not worth just adding another SKU to that search result. There's no value add to your item being with your item contributing to that marketplace. So that's what you should first do is, all right, this is my existing catalog. Does any of it fit into any missing pieces in other marketplaces? If you find that there is an opportunity to just add your existing catalog to a marketplace, go for it. That's really low investment. But if your team is scrappy and you're willing to innovate and come up with new ideas, doing this R&D and looking at, all right, these are the top search queries that we know of on Amazon. Let's do those top searches on this emerging marketplace. And if you see a lot of gaps, you can assume that customers are going to look for that item,
right,
but they're failing to find a good product. So
you can probably also assume that the merchants and the buyers at the retailer are also looking for that same product.
Exactly. And so you're not just meeting the needs of the customer, you're meeting the needs of the merchants who have historically struggled to get brands to add to the catalog.
Gotcha.
And so when you are adding to the catalog and you've got your product, you've got your retailer, and then we're talking about Walmart specifically. So Walmart, they have this thing called the 5 It's.
Yep.
What are the 5 It's?
Yeah, so the 5 It's are a really great framework for merchandising on Walmart.com, and also really any emerging marketplace. It's just a good rule of thumb of how you can go about launching your catalog in these emerging marketplaces. So it starts with have it, find it, display it, price it, and deliver it. So that's the entire item life cycle put into 5 It's. Have it being assortment. Do you have the right item at the right time for the customer? Find it. Are customers able to find the item when they go out and search for it, whether that's through Google or on the marketplace itself? Display it. Once they get onto that product page, are they given the right information? Are they given rich media, videos, 360s for creating an educated decision on, okay, I should buy this product? Price it is all about, are we pricing it to be competitive in other e-commerce channels or even in store? So don't triple the price expecting customers to buy the product, even if you have the most beautiful product page. And then deliver it really is just meeting customer expectations on delivery time. So they really expect 2-day shipping nowadays. So what are you doing as a vendor to get that product to them in 2 days?
And then there's a 6th one that's been recently added, the advertising.
Yeah. So there's debated within our team of maybe actually 2 more It's. So
okay, what's the?
There's 7 It's.
There are 7 It's in our group. So the 6th It is advertise it.
Okay.
Advertising on Walmart and more broadly speaking on these emerging marketplaces has become really, really lucrative for both marketplaces and vendors themselves. So cost per click is extremely low compared to Amazon. Not everyone is leveraging it the way some vendors are. So advertise it is that 6th It. The 7th It is called forecast it. So if you
Very interesting.
so if you do all this work to have your item on a marketplace super successful, showing up organically, you're doing paid advertising, the next thing to come is, okay, how do I ensure I'm in stock? So not simply being in stock today, but what am I doing to forecast for seasonality? Are we coming out with different color swatches in Q4? It really is more of a strategic but it's necessary for you to continue seeing growth on these marketplaces.
Yeah, because I think that I've always kind of classified a little bit of that in the habit bucket, but in all actuality, like we see a lot of issues about being out of stock. Especially the last couple of years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just been
like
crazy.
The pandemic toilet paper.
Yeah, that's right, right. But I think that forecasting it, and getting your logistical infrastructure and keeping up with that demand, I mean, that's huge. Because if you're out of stock, I mean, a lot of negative things can happen.
Yeah, and the real purpose of the 5 to 7 It's is to uncover actionable insights. So if you realize you can't deliver it on time, Your forecasting is all messed up because you just don't have enough warehouse space to hold the inventory. What that tells you is, okay, let's invest in logistics.
Right.
Let's invest in faster ship times. And it just creates this really amazing roadmap for operational teams to go out and improve your IT scores. So you can create benchmarks as a company and say, hey, we want our on-time delivery rate to be 95%. And so that's your deliver it score. So every company can actually build this framework and apply benchmarks.
All
I think, one thing on that, I'm sorry, Brooke.
No, go ahead.
I think that it's important to know, looking at that framework, that there's not really one it that, is more important than the other it. I mean, when you look at the life cycle of an item trying to get online, I mean, you really need to invest in each one of those particular spots.
Yeah. And
equally, I'd say.
Yeah, and we've seen it happen time and time again where, suppliers will focus on one or two of the its. So let's just say have it and display it.
Yeah.
And that's all they focus on, and then they move on, and then they wonder, why are my sales no good?
Right. Yep.
So.
All right, Corey, now it's time. All right, Eric. So you wanted to have Eric choose a product.
Yeah, so.
And then you are going to talk about how to launch it. So,
right.
Yeah, so there's 3 products.
I'm choosing the speaker.
Choosing the speaker?
I'm a mile ahead, Brooke.
That's fine. But we had a hat. So they're all different categories, and they're all different. So they would all have different launch strategies in theory.
Yeah, that's right. So thank you
I chose this speaker. I'm launching the speaker.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
I don't know about tomorrow.
Rush.
No,
yeah.
it's got to go out tomorrow.
Yeah,
I have 2 million of these things.
2 million of these things. Got to start selling them on Walmart tomorrow.
So yeah, if we apply the 5 its, 7 its framework to this speaker, the thought process for have it is this an item that fills a gap in the assortment for these emerging marketplaces? And then thinking of, if you think of attribution as that guide for you, in this case, the speaker, smaller size, it's compact, it's portable. I think this is also waterproof. So I think that's enough information for us to then go out and search waterproof speaker, waterproof portable speaker with high capacity battery life. Those kinds of searches will help you determine, is this a good fit? Now, let's just say you found out that there are a few competitors that sell this product. Then you start wondering, okay, what about the color?
Right.
Do I have something in yellow or pink or something that just catches the eye? Because then if you come out with a very vibrant color, think of that search grid.
Right.
When you launch that product, it's actually going to help you with find it. So let's just say we did have it. We identified this product as being the one we wanted to go with, but we said, all right, let's launch it in neon yellow, or some eye-catching color. What color would you go with, Eric?
Just go with black. Honestly.
Oh, come on!
That's all he wears. Have you noticed?
So
Yeah,
I would go if it was fluorescent, vibrant, it'd be blue.
Blue,
Yeah.
glow in the dark.
Like a spider.
Would it be white spider blue?
Cyan.
There
A
it
bright
is.
cyan.
Would
like
you want it to be glow in the dark too?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool.
Especially the buttons.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So differentiation, you're now moving down the path to find it. So item is live on this emerging marketplace. You've got some inventory already in there, and now we're looking at find it. So find it and advertise it kind of go hand in hand. So, is the item discoverable in search? And if it's eligible for advertising, turning on advertising is going to be a great way to get you that exposure, increase click-through rate. But before you start advertising, you better make sure display it is fully optimized.
Yeah, so that means like making sure, I think one of the big things out there that we can never forget as manufacturers is the significance of images, those hero images, right?
Right.
And so making sure I have this on clean white backgrounds, multiple angles, because it's one of the first things that shoppers will look at when they're looking at the grid.
Yep.
Even the grid, and then as they click into the PDP. So that display it, like, you got to have good quality images that are accurately telling the story of that item. so that I can quickly understand that this is the product that I want. And then even like, you know, the ability to show some scale on this, because if you saw this online, I mean, that's all part of display it, right?
Yeah.
How are you displaying this item so that's quickly and easily and completely and accurately communicated?
Yep, exactly. So the lifestyle imagery is going to be huge. It's a speaker. How do you get the point across that it's a good speaker? So
Waterproof speaker.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
showing these additional features that ultimately have nothing to do with audio quality, but those are the things that get people to buy the product.
Right.
So it's neon blue, it's glow in the dark, it's waterproof, long battery life.
So I'm on top of a waterfall, jumping off at nighttime.
With
And
the
this
speaker.
is blowing my speaker, and I'm happy about it.
Right.
And you're just jamming.
It's my lifestyle
You're jamming.
shot.
Yeah. So there you have it. Display
Yeah.
it.
Display done.
Taken care of.
One image.
So you've got that. At the same time, find it. It's getting better because your display it is fully optimized. Therefore, the search algo is now getting you more exposure organically. You can now start turning on advertising. So advertise it. That's now taken care of. Now we've got price it and deliver it. Price it. You just got to do the market research. You got to see what the competitors are selling it at. In a case where this item is just so premium, really high quality, and you have a lot of competitors coming out with just junk, and you're trying to figure out, how do I differentiate myself, not just through features, but through price? We'll sell a 2-pack, sell a 3-pack.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna
Give them a
say-
discount.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I think that a lot of times manufacturers typically can be pretty sophisticated on the pricing side, right? They've done a lot of R&D. I mean, they got a lot on the table to price this correctly. But something that is it's pretty obvious, but may sometimes be a little skipped, is the fact that how dynamic this market is today, and that anything can change at any time. And the tactic of selling 2 for 1 and those kits and things of that nature is a pretty strong tactic, especially on Amazon, right? I mean, that's how they're able to steal those sales.
Yep, exactly. And the interesting thing with this product specifically is that it's compact.
Yeah.
And if you were to sell a bundle of the compact one with the full size version, something that's taller, takes care of the size comparison piece,
Right.
where in a photo, in a search grid, this is really hard to see as smaller than your full size speaker. And so having that as a bundle, it achieves find it as, you know, increasing click-through rate, and then it will also meet the needs for price it.
You know, and I think that just to hang out on the price it side, just because I think that that's, at least in my experience in conversations, it's because they've already done that research. It's almost like a skip over. Yeah, we already got the price it.
Yeah.
But the reality is in the digital commerce world, the things you're talking about is doing that extra due diligence, going to that retailer, that marketplace that you're going for. What are the other ones doing? You know, how can I establish this on the front end? Like, you don't come out the gate by selling. One of the issues I see is I have a speaker and I sell this at one item at this specific price. And I know it's competitive for this one item, and I stick it online, and I'm just kind of waiting for the sales to come. But had I, in the beginning, come to the market at launch with this one item, with this kitted with 2, with this kitted with a larger one, or whatever it might be, and offer that variety, what's going to happen is it's going to help that find it area too, because I have more assortment with this product, right? And you're able to kind of help out that search grid, that search results page,
Right.
with more of your product being displayed on the search grid, but to help you find it. Then you have more things to advertise against as well, right? And so it just helps out that whole deal. Plus, you can have more items to display your story, and you can cross-link going from item to item, and now you're going to introduce that shopper to more of a greater assortment that you have, all from one item. What originally started with one item.
Some of the most eye-opening experiences around Price It was when I was at Walmart, and we did so much research on figuring out price points for products we're launching. The most exciting or the most satisfying experience I had was when we launched a product with the store buyer. So I was focused on the e-com side within Walmart. And so strategizing with the in-store buyer on pricing, not just for online, but also in store, identifying rollback opportunities, how long those would run for. It was all very new to the manufacturer, the supplier.
Yeah.
And ultimately it led to one of the most successful omni-channel product launches that we had during that time.
Mm-hmm.
But if they had not listened to the merchants,
Right.
they would have just slapped a price point on it and said, yeah, it matches Amazon, good enough.
Yeah.
Whatever, let's move on.
Yeah. Well, that's good stuff.
Cool.
It is. Well, do you want to talk about the seventh step?
Yeah.
For the forecasting?
Well, two more. Actually, the deliver it.
Oh,
we already,
we talked
I
about
know.
that.
My bad.
So we already covered advertise it, but with deliver it, it kind of depends where you're set up as a supplier. So if you're in the 1P space or the emerging marketplace owns your inventory, they're buying it outright. That's really up to the merchant and the marketplace to fulfill on time.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, as a supplier, you could contribute advice and insights on how that's doing, but a lot of that is the merchant's responsibility. But if you are a true marketplace seller and you want to leverage, for example, Walmart fulfillment services,
Right.
really great way to get your product across the U.S., not using FBA, which is against Walmart policy, and relying on Walmart fulfillment services to get you to that 2-day shipping window.
Right.
So if you can do that and make sure you're always in stock, that's going to be huge, which leads to forecast it.
Well, on that, another complexity,
Mm-hmm.
specifically in Walmart, because Walmart can be a little bit, it can be confusing.
Yeah.
You know, for the third parties and the first parties. Because
Right.
the first part, on the third party, you're coming in with a e-com pure play perspective only, right? And you might have used Amazon fulfillment services, and you step into Walmart. You're coming in with a certain opinion about what this experience is going to be, and I really would advise third parties come in it with a different lens with Walmart. There's a whole entirely different strategy because there's such a long tail to where you're actually trying to prove your product to get into a store, which is going to give you that full 1P experience. And on the flip side, the 1Ps come, they might already have certain items, maybe they have a catalog. Say I have, 100 different varieties of this particular speaker like we're talking about, but I got this one sold at Walmart in stores. And so guess what I'm going to do as a 1P? I'm going to be very focused on that one. And I might have a great PDP there, but I'm not providing Walmart my expanded assorted catalog on the marketplace side.
Yeah.
And so for fulfillment perspective, I've got to make sure these things get to the stores and they get put out, right? That's a big deal. But they should also come to the table with all those other assortments, but also figuring out, are they going to do WFS? How are they going to handle that third party and be just as active on that? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of an interesting thing. Walmart, I think, opens it up, and the logistics to it can be a little bit more complicated.
Yeah.
And need to be invested in a little bit more.
Right. And that, again, is, like I said earlier, these provide a framework where you ask the right questions.
Right.
And you bring up topics that maybe are not top of mind to the merchants, but the second you bring it up, they're thinking, oh yeah, you're totally right. We should get you into WFS. Mm-hmm. We should get your expanded assortment into marketplace. So there's so many things that can be brought up and executed on by the supplier, and they just need to let the merchant know, hey, we're doing this.
That's right.
So the last piece, forecast it. Mm-hmm. We don't need to go into the specifics of it, but generally what we're talking about is, can you look at your historical sales on other marketplaces? If you talk enough with, or if you have a relationship with the merchant, you can get an idea from them what the seasonality looks like, what that category has done historically. Of course, they're not going to give you real numbers. They're just going to give you like a yes, no kind of answer. But doing the proper research for forecasting is going to make all the difference when it comes to showing sales to the merchant.
Right.
The merchant doesn't know that you were out of stock half the year because a container didn't show up on time and get into WFS, and then you have 2-day shipping, and then you lost the buy box and all these other issues. All they care about is the revenue. So you better make sure your forecasting is buttoned up. and hold yourself accountable to that forecasting. That's kind of why it's a separate it, because it's not just part of have it. It should be a separate metric. It should have a benchmark. It should have a target for your team to make sure. Bless you.
Start over.
No, at least I didn't choke.
Now we got to
At
start
least it
over.
wasn't
No,
choking on my
it's not.
water.
It's worse. What you did is worse. You ruined the whole entire
I was going
podcast.
to try to hold it. Then
Please edit
I would
this.
have the water rolling out of
Please
my eyes.
Edit that. Just absolute just
Whatever.
disruption
These
in
are
good
these
content.
are what make it fun. But sorry,
Yeah,
Corey,
it's
go
Not
ahead.
fun.
You're all
You
good.
were on-
It's not fun. It was just
Okay.
disruptive. Okay, I'm upset.
So anyway, the
It's not Mel.
Like,
It's joke's over.
So if you can provide that forecasting, then you're much better off as a business for that specific marketplace. So
Man, I think that's actually some that is really strong advice. And I think that it's something that is probably one of the bigger challenges that every manufacturer is experiencing. Like, how can you forecast? How can you be prepared? You know, and Walmart talks all the time about OTIF, right?
yeah,
I mean, that applies to everything.
Sure does.
All delivery options, you know, at Walmart. And I mean, that's a high charge. And I believe that the suppliers that really are invested in that box, you know, equally across all the board, you know, are going to have a lot of opportunities coming up. Because if you can get a handle on that forecast and how that's going to work, I mean, that's just, like you said, that's revenue. That's what merchants are looking for, right?
Yeah.
Looking to see how that happens. And I would offer a tidbit on the forecast.
sure.
I think that you can also, there's a lot of tools and data out there to help you understand the seasonality of a product, you know, including almighty Google Trends, right? That can help you determine a little bit about, which is, you know, free, but it takes some time to look in it. But there's a lot of ways to invest to kind of get closer to that forecasting.
Yeah.
And even seeing events that might trigger and happen that would cause an uprise.
And taking it back to this hypothetical product that we're launching, it's durable, portable, waterproof. Okay, it's not necessarily a winter product.
Yeah.
The push is really going to be spring, summer, maybe a little bit of fall. But you better have a promotion set up going into spring and summer. So again, thinking of Price It, the last piece with Price It is about promotions. That's a much more evolved framework for Price It, but something to certainly think about.
No, I dig it, man. I
Good
think
point.
that, that's good. Good job, Corey.
That is great.
Thank you.
I know.
That
was
and
fun.
What a
We
great
wouldn't
podcast.
and we wouldn't have our product strategy VP here if we weren't going to talk about how can SKU Ninja help.
Oh gosh.
We got to do the
Why
pitch
do you always try to?
because that's our
We're
job.
just given knowledge right
just
now.
giving knowledge.
That's all there is
Everything
to
should
it.
be
That
for
is
free.
knowledge.
Everything on the planet should be for free.
Yeah.
This product should be for free.
Yeah.
Walmart should sell this for free.
So if we're thinking of the 7 It's, and I love it when companies leverage this framework for themselves, but if they really need someone to come in and do it for them, my ex team, now they're called the Digital Catalog Partners, it's called the Digital Catalog Program. They consist entirely of ex Walmart merchants, and they
A lot of X's in there, Corey.
I know. We've gone through a lot of acquisitions in the past 6 months.
All the ex-wives,
Oh gosh.
Oh no. Just coworkers. They're still on the same
All
team.
the ex-wives work with ex. I'm sorry.
No,
I ruined your sales pitch. Sorry, Brooke.
I'm just trying to help your business.
I know,
That's
yeah.
all there is to it.
Our business.
We're all a team.
Ours.
So that team, they know how to build strategy and execute on those 5 to 7 It's. So if you're looking for, next level management of your Walmart business, this is the team to talk to. I know 100% that this is the best team in the market for this exact purpose of taking a product, getting it into Walmart, launching it, build forecasting, build strategy, do advertising, every single thing. They can do it. So that's my pitch
There's
on
the
Good one.
pitch.
I'm going to follow up
Great.
with something on that. There's
Okay.
3 values to that.
3,
And,
all right.
and this is genuine, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I know that everybody gets, look, anyway, genuinely speaking, as we discussed, all these 5 or 7 boxes of the IT strategy, you got to invest equally in all of those. You can't kind of invest in one. I mean, because the model won't work. You're going to lose something. Anything that you've not invested in or invested as much, you're losing something. And what this team can help you do is the fact that they already know. That knowledge and understanding, man, I'm telling you, like, could save you weeks to months to years. And I have seen it in a full circle anybody that tries to internalize that, and hire on. Now you're talking about a lot of extra things that are happening within the manufacturer. If I was trying to hire on a team to do the display it, right, and I'm like, I'm good, I'm going to do it myself. I mean, you can go into just a cycle of just stress, frustration, lost time, and then talking about your forecasting if there's a hot season coming up, and I missed that. And then at the end of the day, what that adds up to is a very frustrated manufacturer who is not opening up the door of an expanded category or an expanded marketplace.
Yep.
Which is going to level up to the Chiefs, and everybody's going to be having some hard conversations. I mean, I've seen it like time and time again. And I mean, if you're not going to use us, use somebody, right, that has that knowledge, because it can save so much. The time savings that's in there because of the software, the tools that have been developed over 7+ years specifically for Walmart to help you become really efficient and effective on that. And then also, I mean, just the true reality of it is if I'm going to have a team to display it, I'm going to be hiring those resources anyway. And so I think we try to do our best using the math. Like, it makes sense. It's just like in this video podcast. If I was to try to go hire a bunch of video editors all the time, I mean, now I've staffed up for that, but now I got to manage that, and it's going to cost me a lot more than just to contract out for somebody to edit the video that's already got the tools, got all the knowledge, and it can just happen. And so you got to invest one way or another.
Yeah.
Did I really go far on that sales pitch? I'm really not trying to sell. Y'all are looking at me like I'm some sort of salesman over here.
No.
We got this on video.
Sales for a long time.
Listen, we got this on video. The judgment eyes will be shown. Yeah.
So
interesting.
So even if anyone listening or watching decides to talk to other agencies about their Walmart business, I encourage you to use the 5 ITs as your criteria.
That's good.
If all they talk about is the display it in your head of how you're looking at display it, that should be a red flag because it's only meeting one need. But if they achieve 5 out of 5, 7 out of 7, oh my gosh, you just struck gold. You found the agency that does what we do.
Yep.
But I'm willing to bet that there's no one in the industry that does it the way we do.
Yeah.
All the
it goes so deep.
And doing all the ads, going so deep and being true extensions of your team.
Yeah. I'd be willing to bet some money on that too. I mean, I'm willing.
I'm not.
Oh man.
Wow.
I'm not. Maybe I put money on it.
I don't even know what you call that. Like in a.
I know. I was like, no, I'm going to keep
Debbie
my money.
Downer,
I'm doing like gambling. I'm not a gambler.
The buzz killer.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm like, no.
we had a good thing going. Corey and I had a good thing going. And you just
and I
killed
just was
everything.
like, nope, I'm not putting money on it though. I mean,
ruined the podcast.
There's always someone that comes out right after you. There's always someone new.
You ruined the podcast 2 times today, just FYI.
Well, thank
and
you
you'll
guys.
see it on the live show.